Hello, I've got a really cute, very quick project today, which is going to show just how well the designer series paper matches with our cardstock, and to show you how you just need very little equipment whatsoever in order to come up with a very simple project. So I have somebody who it's their birthday at work tomorrow, and I work with her, and we don't buy each other presents or anything, but I just wanted to, it's just an excuse to make something really. So what I wanted to do, because she is a massive chocolate lover, and it was just a really just a token gift with the excuse to make a little box, I just wanted to put a couple little Ferrero Rocher in a box. And I've made boxes before and given them to her, so she's seen plenty of these boxes. So I went onto Pinterest and I just googled gift box Ferrero Rocher, and I saw something. Now this is originally an idea from May Made It, who's an American crafter, but the lady who put it on her Pinterest page is called Helen Griffin. I think I've got that right. I know it's Helen and it's Griffin or Griffiths, but yes, so that's who the that's where I got the inspiration from, and it's just this little box with a dome lid on it, and it doesn't come out easily. That's not going anywhere, and then I can just put that on her desk in the morning, just to say happy birthday. She's got to have some sort of treat that she's got to work on her birthday, and that just comes out like that and goes in. So not using any equipment where we're doing any punching or whether we're doing any stamping, just nice paper, matching cardstock. The only thing I am using is the best piece of kit ever, and that is the Stampin' Up paper trimmer. This is well used. It's used for just about every single project that I make. I prefer to use this for cutting and scoring because these increments go in a 1/16 of an inch, which when you are 3D project making, you really sometimes just need things in a 1/16 of an inch measurement. So, but it has two blades on it. We have a scoring blade and a cutting blade. So when you're scoring, you need to make sure that thing is right out of the way. There's lots and lots of times when I've gone to score something and I've cut it, and then normally at that point everything just gets thrown out of the way and I go and have a sulk somewhere. Anyway, let me show you what we need for this. Just two pieces. So we've got the cardstock, and this is in Rich Razzleberry, and my favourite DSP is the Share What You Love, and so that's that one. It's got a nice background as well if you like that. So, but I'm going to use that side. Now if we start off with the cardstock first, we're also going to need some adhesive, so I'm just using some double-sided tape. You could use wet glue. I'm not using wet glue because I haven't got time on this video for it to dry, so I'm using double-sided tape. So the first thing I need is some cardstock, and this measures 5 5/8. I'll measure that carefully. So halfway is 4/8. Two more bits over is 5/8. So I'm going to cut that there. See how easy that is. 5 5/8, and then I want this side to be 4 1/8. So there's 4, and then two little bits on, two little lines, because they're in 1/16 is 1/8. I'll measure that up carefully, and I check. I always check before I cut. So there we have 5 5/8 by 4 1/8. And then I'm going to get my DSP, and I want to make sure, if you have a pattern that has no particular direction, doesn't really matter how you cut this, but because I've only got one direction of this, I need to make sure that my longest side is kind of in a landscape thing. Does that make sense? But this one's going to be my longest side, and that's going to measure 6 inches. All of these measurements will be on my blog. So 6 inches. Oops. And that's, the other measurement needs to be 2 7/8. So 2, halfway is 4/8. Another 2 is 5/8. 6/8. 7/8. Always check. Is that right? I'm just checking my measurements. Yes, 6 inches by 2 7/8. So there's my paper there. Actually, I'm going to swap that because I'll tell you what I've just noticed is that's what I've got left. And I think that looks nicer than that. And it is the right, okay. Yeah, so I just need to take a little bit off the bottom. I wasn't thinking of that when I was cutting it. Right, 2 7/8. There we go. That looks much nicer. Oh, I was about to put that away, but actually I still need that because I've got some scoring to do. So if I go back to my cardstock, and on the short side, so this is 4 1/8, I'm going to score at 1 3/8. So what I do is I make sure that that cutting blade is right down the bottom, and I bring the scoring blade up here. So I want 1 3/8, 1 inch, 1 2 3/8 there, 1 3/8, and make sure that that's butted up to the top there, and score. And then over to 2 3/4, 2 3/4, just check that's right, and score that there. So I have that, and then I'm going to score this one as well. So rather than scoring on this side, score on that side, and I'm going to score this at 5 1/4. Turn it around and score at 5 1/4. Now I can put this away. I'll put the pattern side to one side for the moment. And there I've got my cardstock, and I'm just going to fold those lines there, give them a good sharp crease. I've missed out one of the score lines. What a muppet. I didn't think that looked right when I did it. Right, so I've done those 2 score lines, so they were at 1 3/8 and 2 3/4. Then I'll turn it round. 1 3/8. And 4 1/4. Now we can put that to one side. So what you've got here, oh, let's just fold and burnish those. Fold that there. And fold that there. So that's what we are looking at the moment. I'm just going to move that light because it's causing a shadow. That's better. So I've got 2 score lines here and 2 here. Oops. Okay. So watch this carefully. If you take your scissors, mine are covered in glue, just take that off. Right, so I'm looking at that horizontally. So I'm looking at this line first. If you're left-handed, you might want to look at that line first, but I'm right-handed. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up the score line up to that first score line there. And then I'm going to cut diagonally into that corner like that. I'm just going to pull that out. I'm going to do the same here. Just going to cut that diagonally there to the corner. And then one last thing I'm going to do is cut that like that. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to cut up that score line there. And then just diagonally, just come in here a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Come diagonally up there into that corner. Lift with that and just pull it out that way. cutting diagonally into that corner, and then cut a piece off like that. Then we're going to do exactly the same here. Cut up the score line. Into the corner. Turn it around, and for the last time up to that first score line, into the corner, and then finally one last one there and there. So that is what you should be left with. And what we're going to do is fold these over here and these over like that, and we're going to put adhesive along that fold line, along that fold line, along that fold line, and that fold line, and we're going to start to construct our box. So I'm going to get some double-sided tape. You might want to use wet glue. Wet glue means that you can just position your box more accurately. The thing about using double-sided tape, that as soon as you adhere it to something, that's it, it's stuck. Wet glue, just get a little bit of room just to wiggle it about a bit. I'm going to do this as quickly but as neatly as possible. This is not my regular double-sided tape. I ran out, always running out of adhesive, always, as I go and order things and I never remember to put glue on there. So I've now got it written down on a piece of paper the next time I do an order. In fact, it's already sat there on the order, so that when I order anything else, or if a customer wants to order anything, I can just, I've already got it there. Okay. So that's what we've got. This is the outside of the box. So I'll just show you what we're going to do here. I'm going to take off that backing paper, and this edge there is going to go along that fold line there, and this is going to stick to the inside of that. So this comes over the top and attaches to that fold, and if you're using double-sided tape, you've got to get that spot on first time, and I'm trying to do that. I can't get my head over that, otherwise it ends up in front of the camera. I think I've just about got that. It's important as well that you get the glue right on that fold line, and because I can't get close enough to it, I've just missed that. So make sure that you get it as close to the fold line as you can. So do this one. I've actually got that glue a little bit better up to the fold line on that. So I've taken this raw edge and taken it along to the folded edge. I think I've got that. There we go. I'll do the next one. Now, what I want to tell you about is we are in online extravaganza at the moment, and from today the cutting and scoring tool that I've just shown you has 10% off. So this is an ideal time to buy that. It very rarely comes down in price. So from today, that the cutting and scoring tool has 10% off of it. Plus, if you order that through online extravaganza, for the first 4 people that order that, I've got some DSP here called Garden Impressions. So that's a full pack there, I've not even opened it. I'm going to divide that into 4, and I'm going to add on some cardstock, and I'm going to send that to the first 4 customers that order the cutting and scoring tool. So if you place an order through me, I'll leave a link in the description bar. Set up an account, and then when you make your order, I will then get notification of that. It will have your name and address, and I will send that in the post to you. I've got it here already. I've got this, and I've got the cardstock. So I'll send you a quarter of a pack of this, which is worth about £2.50, £3, and I'll send you some coordinating cardstock that goes with it. So for this one, you might get some pink, or you might get the Night of Navy. But I will send you some coordinating cardstock. So as soon as your cutting tool arrives, you'll be able to make one of these. Anyway, back to this. There are my two little Ferrero Rocher sat in there. So that's all ready. Let's put that to one side. And where's my piece of coloured paper? There it is. So I've got that which I've scored. So I'm just going to just fold and burnish that. And the other thing I need to do is cut out some cards which I missed out at the beginning. That's 1.5 by 2 7/8. Let's get that out again. So 1.5 by 2 7/8. So back to this. I'm going to see these two score lines here. So just here and here. No, sorry, here and here. So this side, I'm going to run some double-sided tape. I'll try and get that on the score line, which sometimes is really tricky to see, especially when I can't get right up close to it, but that's not bad. And I can hear my dog sniffing at the door trying to come in. He can hang on a minute. So what I'm going to do is take this small piece, 1.5 by 2 7/8. I'm going to take off that backing paper there and just push that in there next to that score line. So we've got that there like that. Take this one off. Oh, it doesn't want to come off. That's what happens when you don't buy Stampin' Up adhesive. You're fighting with this. There we go. So I've put that one on there, and now this one is then going to fit in there like that, which is a bit tricky when I can't see properly, but I will. And then just put that over there. Wasn't quick enough. I was trying to make sure that you could see it on camera, and then I took my eye off the ball for a second. Right, let's try that again. There we go. So that card is on the inside on there. It just gives that some stability. Stuck that down. So there's my box with my two Ferrero Rocher. And I'm just going to put that. It is a nice tight fit. So that isn't, the shape those, that's going absolutely nowhere. And there you are. You can make quite a few of those. They would be nice on a Christmas table if you made them out of Christmas paper. We still have some Christmas paper available if you wanted to add that to your order. So I've got two of those now that have taken absolutely no time at all to make. Great way of using up some scraps of paper as well if you've got some. And the other thing that I'm going to do is make a coordinating card to go with that. So she will have a little gift and a card that's going to match as well. So remember that the scoring and cutting tool is now 10% off as part of our online extravaganza. First 4 people will get a quarter of that, and they will get some coordinating cardstock as well, and you'll be able to make quite a few of those out of that. Or you can go onto my YouTube channel. You can subscribe just by hitting that subscription bar next to this video, and I've got lots of videos on there that are making little gift boxes using card that's just like this with coordinating cardstock. Thank you ever so much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.